Well guys, it's a beautiful Friday morning because Kegan's off today and I may have pulled a day off work. And sun's shining out. Actually got down about 58 last night, so it feels nice and comfortable this morning. And air compressor's running in the other room if you can hear that. We are going to try our best to send Kegan home today in his Firebird. So we're going to try and start it here in a second, see if it'll run long enough to get it into the shop, which I kind of doubt right now, but Kegan's got high hopes. And once we get it in here, we're going to replace fuel filter, do a fuel sock on it, try and get the brakes ironed out, because I really think that's about all it needs, but we'll see. So Kegan's already put his new alternator on.
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, just gonna run it without it?
Yeah, let's see if it starts.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I didn't think so. Ooh.
Did you change fuel filter?
No. Yeah, I'd say we better get the chain out.
Yeah.
Nice try though.
Well, could have figured this out 5 minutes ago, but cameraman was slacking.
Yeah, I was talking. Chain time. Alright, so I'm still panting a little bit because that's how us fat boys stay in shape, is pushing around old disabled stuff.
Listen, I just ran wind sprints. I had no traction out there. There was gravel flying. I just kept one foot in front of the other. It was like trying to run uphill on ice.
It is a downhill grade out there in front of the garage, so it does make that more interesting. And the hardest part was where the front tires was trying to come up over that first ledge of concrete past the gravel. And yeah, as soon as we broke that point, started moving forward, I knew we was okay, but I got a little bit of a indention in my finger there from the chain where I had a hold of it.
I need new boots after
Yeah, Kegan needs new treads too. That doesn't help matters any. So now,
would you believe I ran them off?
Yeah, he says he ran them off. I don't believe that. So we're gonna go ahead and put the new alternator on it. And then we're going to jack it up and we're going to pull the fuel pump back out of the tank, because the sock that we put back down into it the other day, I don't have a whole lot of faith in. I think it's pretty gummed up. And then we're going to replace the inline fuel filter as well and see if our capability to get fuel to the motor is what's holding us up, because we know the fuel pump's running. So I think we're going to find out that the old filter's got a bunch of junk in it. We'll probably back blow it when we pull it out and show you guys what happens. So, and then we'll try and start it again. So, I wish Kegan's Firebird quit letting us down. So, Kegan's got the new alternator on, and the belt's got some tension to it. I think that's okay tension. That might not be tight enough.
Might not.
We'll find out.
But the greatest thing about these old ones is, like we said before, there's no actual tensioner onto it.
Yeah,
but
you loosen this bolt and loosen this bolt back here. Take a big pry bar or screwdriver. Yeah. Pry it back this way and tighten it back down. So, pretty nice setup, really. So with that being said, so now we've got the car jacked up off the ground. And I'm going to show you guys the dilemma we're having right now. Kegan is currently working on pulling the fuel pump back out so we can change the sock. Where's your new sock at? in a bag. While he's getting that out, I'll show you what I'm facing underneath the car right now. It's right here's the fuel pump, or not fuel pump, fuel filter. And I've got the lines broke loose from the ends of the filter. So like the filters, I could actually untighten them. But the fittings are not broke free from the line itself. So I'm just about ready to wad the line up, and that would be bad. So I put some PB Blaster on it. I'm gonna let it sit for just a bit. Be nice if you could add some heat to it. But being as how there was fuel leaking out of it a moment ago, I feel like that would be a bad idea.
I said, please no.
so we're gonna let that sit for a sec with some PB Blaster and see if I can't get those loose then.
Firebird is not supposed to.
Yeah, the Firebird would really be on fire then. So, where's your sock at? Did you find it?
Yeah, it's over on Adam's bike. It makes a perfect shelf.
It makes a good shelf, Adam. So, here's the new sock. I'll open this up, pull it out, show you. And while Kegan's pulling that out, to show you what the old sock looks like. So there's your new sock. And that's a pre-filter for the gasoline. For those who don't know, I know a lot of people probably do. And the last time we had this out, we went ahead and put it back in because we didn't have a new sock with us at the time. But the old sock looks pretty rough. So if Kegan can get that pulled out of there. There we go.
You wanna give me a bolt or something I can stick in there so this doesn't
Backflow?
Yeah.
Give us just a second. Break for technical difficulties. Okay, so we took a bolt, jammed in the end of that, and Kegan tightened it back down to keep that from leaking any gas back out of it. And
it works, kinda.
Yep. So you ready to pull that thing out and show them what the old sock looked like?
I'm getting there.
I thought you was ready.
No. Takes a little bit of maneuvering around.
I should have waited.
Oh, here we go.
Wasting their time, Kegan.
You do it good the first time, you're bound to do it again.
There we go. Coming up out of there, we'll probably have to pull it out again just to get your fuel gauge right. Oh no, look how nasty that thing
You need a Phillips.
is. So, while he's getting a Phillips,
For me?
this sock actually has a tear in it, right about there. But see how it's old and looks like it's all clogged up and everything. And keep in mind that this is the new one right here. So we'll take this off, put this new one on, which I actually like the style of this new one. It actually lays flat where that one doesn't. So
Like mine?
I think maybe it did. Doesn't look like it seemed to do it that way. But anyways, we'll change that out and we'll try and get back on this fuel filter under the car here in a minute if it'll break free. So we got a leak in the floor and we made a decision. It's not a good one, but
Never a good one.
we couldn't get it free, so
We detached it.
we detached it. We'll have to fix the line. Look at that mess.
Like chocolate milk.
With salsa in it.
I'm going to imagine that the engine probably does not care for that. And is that the inside or the outside? That is the inside. So, in case you guys don't know, does that one still say? Yeah. It says out on the end of it, kind of stamped into it. I think you can see it right there. So, this would have been the side that would have went towards the motor. So the side he's actually, see all that crud that's kind of residual staying on there? That is coming from the gas tank and into the filter, and that stuff probably couldn't go through the filter to get out the other side, which clogged up the inside of this filter. So now we have got a gas line to repair.
And a filter to replace.
And a filter to replace. So I'm gonna get working on trying to figure out how we're gonna repair that line here in a second. I made Kegan tear it out because it's his car, and if anybody's gonna purposefully tear it up, I want it to be Kegan. So.
Yeah. But just because it makes for good practice.
Now the good news is that end right there that goes into the filter, we'll get the filter off of it. I'll free that up from the existing line, and we'll try and reuse that end.
Not the filter, but the end.
Yeah, update before we take off here in a second.
This is the old sock.
Yeah, and that is exactly where it was ripped, right there.
And
Oh, it had a hole right there too, and it was in pretty rough shape.
yeah. So
Look at that. Pretty and clean and ready to go. Kegan's got that pretty well ready to stick back down in there. And then up here, we tore the old end off, and I have already made a new 90 end that'll go into the fuel pump, or fuel filter. I keep saying pump. It's a filter. And so this right here has got to be certain. We'll take a measurement, and it's got to be 90 again to get up against the frame rail. But we're going to have to pick a place to fix it. So before we know how long we need to cut this to make this piece, we need a compression fitting to go underneath the car, where we're going to tap back on to the old line. Is that some of the stuff you caught? That's some of the stuff you caught when it was all falling out. And to prove the theory of it just not looking bad, Kegan drew a smiley face in it. That is the residual stuff that was left over after the gasoline dried on this box. And as you can see, not good.
no.
So I would say that fuel filter is junk. And that is probably good that we're doing this. So,
I mean, it was 3 pounds heavier than what it's supposed to be, so I'm gonna go with it's probably junk.
okay, so here we are. I'm going to show you guys what we done underneath there, but before I do that, this is the old fuel line right here. When we went to move it, it cracked. I don't know if you can see that crack right there at my fingertip. It cracked right where the bracket was against the frame. See that right there, Kegan?
I see it.
That's where it leaked. But that right there is where it come loose from the filter, because we had to purposely break it because the end was seized up in it. And then I cut that end off of the line underneath the car. So now, crawl up underneath here. If you look right there, there's the compression connector right there. And that's where we added onto the old line back here, right? And come forward here. And I had to bend it down here to get that angle to meet up and then back up into the bracket that Kegan made, because we messed up the original bracket. It just kind of broke as we took it off. You know, rusty old cars, how that works. And then there's the
Thought it rolled real easy. And then
fuel filter mount. And then this line here we was able to salvage by spinning the fuel filter off and spin the new one back on, because that right there is also seized. But we're going to keep running that one. So with that being said, let me grab right underneath it here. Yep, on the floor. And Kegan is going to try and start it. So now let's see. Go ahead, Kegan. We'll see if any fuel comes out of the filter there if it didn't seal good. I see nothing.
hold on.
Come on.
I'm letting it prime a couple times.
I don't see any fuel leaking or dripping. Okay, so no fuel leaking or dripping, so that's good. Boy, that your belt for the alternator is like super loose. Imagine that. Look at that. Look at that belt for the alternator.
Look how loose that is.
Give it some fuel. Oh, not enough. Do it again. It's got to wait up for a second. Probably still got some air and stuff in the line. Probably take a minute to work all that through. And we still don't have any leaks dripping. So that's good. So we're going to
Like a scooter?
tighten this alternator belt.
Got mine.
And then we will see if we can't try and start it again. It's a little smoggy in here. We kind of got it running. I think we can keep it running and warm it up and make sure the rings are freed up. And I think a lot of this has to do with our little concoction that we put down in the engine, trying to burn everything out maybe.
It smells a little like Seafoam.
It does. So, which is fine. We're good with that. So we're going to put some coolant in the system, and we're gonna try and run it, just let it get warm for a little while. I don't want to run it no more than what we have without making sure it's got some coolant in it, so.
Also,
Yeah, plug the fan in, Kegan. Good idea. Hey, look at that. Watch it clear out. Look at, probably not good breathing all that anyways. So, yeah. We got to fire this thing back up and let it warm up. We'll fire the camera up and show you guys what it's doing. First of all, we're seeing enough smoke that, safety first?
safety first.
Maybe. I don't know if I trust that thing, to be honest with you. It's been around for a while.
Now you tell me?
All right, Kegan. If you don't start the first time, I'll give it the old one too. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Will not oil. What's the instrument? Can you tell? All right, start again. Go ahead. As it was.
All right, guys.
Fat belly.
We've ate, finally. It was like 3 o'clock. I know what you're thinking is, how will we ever last so long? Well,
Aggravation.
pure aggravation.
So I sprayed some of this around the engine while it's running, trying to see if we can't find a leak. Because this is flammable, and usually if you spray something flammable and there's a vacuum leak someplace, it'll
Sucks it up.
and you'll hear an idle difference in the engine. I can't make it happen.
Nah.
So that's like
So, Seafoam. You guys, some of you probably know what we're getting ready to do. Others probably don't. Those that do, those.
vacuum hose.
Yeah. Well, this is technically an oxygen hose that's connected to a vacuum hose, but
It's attached to the intake manifold, which the engine's a giant vacuum.
all right. So, those of you who don't know what we're getting ready to do, again, as he said, your engine is a giant vacuum. You have vacuum lines everywhere that are controlled by the airflow from your intake. All leads back in. Now, if you're having issues idling, or you're running kind of rough, or just
Dirty valves.
you've just put a lot of miles onto it. What you can do is take you some Seafoam. If I can ever get the bottle open.
He's having technical. Is it childproof? It's childproof.
It is childproof, yeah. Fat fingers now.
So we'll do this, and then after we run this through it, then you broke it, didn't you? You broke it. Then we'll probably pull the spark plugs and check all them, make sure they're still okay. I can't understand for the life of me why it ran just fine the other day for a few minutes. Everything was good, and now it don't want to run worth a nickel.
He shut it off.
Yeah, shut it off. And then done. So now we're about ready to make it smoky. We're running Seafoam through the intake. Hold on, that thing sticks. There we go. All right, go ahead. Bit since you can't hardly see us, and then we'll see how it runs then. So I think we've got everything figured out. Kegan, would you like to show them? Look at that. The Seafoam, a little bit of adjustment, and still smokes a little bit, not bad. Actually, not too bad at all. So, but no victory goes without anything else. I got something underneath there that I don't like to look at. We need to see what that is. And we're going to check oil, and we're going to go through the brakes because they need it. But one step at a time. Little victories, right, Kegan?
Little victories. Remember, you don't eat an elephant all at once, bit by bit.
And you don't leave your Firebird sit for 7 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, so to let everybody know, that was brake fluid underneath the middle of the car. And rather than try and fix the brakes right now, we figured it'd be the best decision in inspecting them that we buy some
bad.
new. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad. So we're gonna have Kegan get some new brake lines, and we'll put them on the car later. So with that being said, I'm gonna let Kegan give us the glory of finishing this video the way we was hoping to. And he's gonna kill it. Give a little gas. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. See if you can put it in reverse. And he killed it. You have to put it in reverse like you mean it.
I know. Make sure there's no kids or anything else behind me.
You're clear.
Turned into a two-pedal car.
Two-pedal car. It just ain't gonna do it, is it?
It don't like it. It don't like it.
You gotta do a neutral drop to get it out of the garage. Make him proud, Kegan. Oh yeah! Well, we're going to maneuver it a little bit, but go ahead, pull forward and get over closer to the grass. Good enough. We'll get it situated. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button down there, give us a like, and all the good stuff. And we'll see if we can't continue making this car a little bit better each time we work on it. But we did get to drive it today, so thanks guys.